Please welcome Governor John Hickenlooper from Colorado.
"30 years ago, almost to the day, I lost my job. Now, whether it's being laid off, downsized, or fired, it's not funny, and it's not a reality show punchline when it happens to you. And it wasn't just me. A whole generation of geologists lost their careers in that recession. It is hard when you feel that you aren't wanted anymore. After many months looking for work with hardly an interview, a buddy and I decided to start the first brew pub in Colorado. We had no money. Even my own mother wouldn't invest. Finally, 18 months later, we opened in an abandoned warehouse district in downtown Denver. We got 34 small investors, 2 bank loans, a loan from the city, and a loan from the SBA. But we opened, and slowly but surely, we grew and thrived and expanded. Now, I've never hosted a reality TV show, but I know that the true mark of a successful businessman is not the number of times you say, "You're fired." It's a number of times you say, "You're hired." That's right. That's right. I'm the business guy. I am a business guy, but unlike Trump's businesses, my business didn't go bankrupt 6 times. Now, one thing I've learned is that success is sweeter when it's shared. And that's just as true in business as it is in life. In our neighborhood, there were a handful of other entrepreneurs trying to develop lofts or start businesses. Together, we worked with the Downtown Denver Partnership, the Tourism Board, and the city to create a sense of place. More entrepreneurs arrived to start more businesses, and the neighborhood took off. And so did Denver. Sure, it was my buddy and I that took the risk, but as Hillary Clinton says, it takes a village. Businesses, government, nonprofits working together to create opportunity. She understands that even in Colorado, land of rugged individualism, our economy is stronger together. And as a small businessman, then mayor of Denver, and now governor, I've seen how partnerships drive economies. Today, Denver is the fastest growing big city in America, and Colorado has the second strongest economy in the country. Now compare that to Donald Trump's trickle-down economics, where he doesn't pay his bills and small businesses go out of business. I spent some time with Hillary, and I can tell you, from a small business perspective, she gets it. Tremendous changes in our economy are making people feel that they aren't wanted anymore, and I remember that feeling. Many of the skills that would have been tickets to the middle class are no longer needed. That's why we discussed not only the importance of education and training, but streamlining regulations, expanding access to loans, incentivizing innovation, and how to support the transformation of new ideas into new jobs. I told her about Colorado's new apprenticeship initiative that allows kids to both work and to take classes that help them be more successful in their jobs. And Hillary Clinton understands that especially in these economic times, partnerships can lead to opportunity, which is why she wants to offer tax incentives to companies that offer apprenticeships in underserved areas. Now, she's going to make the largest single investment in jobs since World War II. And she'll cut red tape and taxes so it's easier to start and grow a small business. Hillary Clinton is going to work for the young entrepreneur who wants to start a brew pub or launch a startup or even create a drapery business, just like her dad, Hugh Rodham, did all those years ago in Chicago. Now tonight, Hillary Clinton accepts the nomination for President of the United States of America. And tomorrow, we're going to get down to business. So I say to you, put down your Pokemon Go for just a second and go to HillaryClinton.com. If you sign up before midnight, you can have a chance to win an opportunity to be with her on the campaign trail. We all have a job to do, electing Hillary Clinton. So let's go to work. God bless you.